Hello, people. This is probably long overdue. This is a quick little tutorial on adding your own entries into the Armor XML. Um, Start off with a little bit of what's what. Up here at the top is the armor settings. These are multipliers for each individual piece: body, feet, hands, head, shield. Um, it will take the base armor rating and multiply it by this small little bit. So like something that's 18 armor rating, that is that are boots, it'll be modified by 1.4. So 18 times 1.4. Did I say 18? Whatever. 18 times 1.4 equals what the armor is. The base rating for an armor is the material that it's made from modified by this factor. So if it's a chest piece, it'll be body. If it's boots, it'll be hands. Or if it's boots, it'll be feet. Gloves, hands. Helmet, head. Then, skip all this bullshit here. We'll go down to the material listings. You don't want to modify the armor types that I just showed you. You don't want to modify these unless you really know what you're doing. Changing these numbers will have a cascading effect on all armors that are modded and modified by PerMa in the game. Everything that is patched uses all of these material modifiers. So something that is classified as studded uses this entry here. Steel plate. And you'll see there's variations of each one. That's for variety. It's so we can use the patcher to better um, better match the desired armor rating that the author intended with his armor. So if they had some type of ebony plate and the plate was a little bit better than the plate that you'd find in the game, or a little bit worse, you could emulate it with these variations. So like there's steel high, steel heavy, steel low, steel light, steel part. I had to put those in for goofy bikini pieces. But anyway, um, what you will want to do is you will want to match your desired armor rating with the material used. Um, the best way to do that is open like Xedit, Test 5 Edit, and look at the armors as they have been modified. So you can look at steel plate armor if that's what you wanted to emulate with steel plate. You can go in there and see uh, what its modified patched armor class is. Let's say I'm just going to pull a number out of my ass. Let's say it's a 170. Actually, I probably have it. This is a little cheat sheet I made for myself when I was modifying stuff. So let's see. Steel plate is in vanilla Skyrim it's 40. Is that right? And it is 159 in PerMa. So if that's what you wanted was steel plate armor, then you would look in the armor here and let's find steel plate. Search, find steel plate. Stormforged plate armor uses steel plate. steel plate cuirass? Nope. Steel plate armor? I'll just do it the long way. Steel plate. Let's go find our steel plate. Cold imbued. Steel plate, steel plate. Steel plate just uses steel plate. Okay. So, steel plate uses steel plate, obviously. Let's go find the steel plate entry. Is it? Faction. Steel. These are in alphabetical order. Do. Nord. Orcish, I'm in the O. Scaled. Stalvrim. Steel. There's steel and steel plate. Yep, there we go. Steel plate. Steel plate. You have steel plate low, steel plate high, steel plate light. So steel plate is 41. And then with modifiers, it jumps up to 159. So basically, you take a mod, look at the materials that the author and the armor rating that the author intended it to be. Let's say he wanted it to be steel plate armor. So you would use steel plate armor as the material that you want to use in your entry. So let's go to the entries. There's a lot of them. These are the entries. Some of them have bigger sections than others. And this generally is all you need. Just this line, these lines here. This is binding. This is opening, like an open statement. And then binding again with that little slash through it is like a closed statement. It's scripting voodoo. I don't know scripting. I just copied what was before me and emulated it and recreated it and threw in a bunch of armors. So you have to have all of these spaces here. Everything has to be exactly the same as far as how it looks. It all has to be uniform. So you want to copy, or even if you want these little tags. See this here? I guess I should explain more. This here is just for people. I put these on every single entry so that if Ralphlin needed to correct or check something that I did, all of my stuff is tagged with my little nick here, little shortened name here, Vis. So, and then the what item it was modifying, and this is only for us. The patcher ignores these entries that are in green here. I think. Let's see which. Okay, so it has to be that. This right here and this right here. Those two on either side of your text makes it so that it is ignored. If you remove a bit of it, oh, it looks like that might work. But I'm going to leave it. So you don't need to add these, but you can if you want. These lines here on the top and bottom of your entry. These, however, have to be. They have to be there. And if you're going to be adding stuff, you don't want you want to put it at the bottom of the item entries, right before the material listings. So where are they? Which are right here. So you could just copy an entry and paste it. You don't want any spaces. You don't want tabs. You want to make sure that things are clean. Because I went through here and deleted thousands and thousands of those spaces on tons of stuff on the weapon and armor XML, and it probably only shaved at the most 5 minutes off of patch time. But I did it anyway because I just wanted to. So don't add more spaces. I mean, if you add 10 items, 10 armors on this list, and you got these little spaces, it might not matter. It might increase the patch time by like 0.000001 millisecond. Who knows? It's just cleaner. Practice clean modding. Anyway, open statement, close statement, and then this is the identifier for what the material is going to be made of, what material the armor is made of. Tells the patcher how to treat its armor rating. And it also, combined with the material listings, so like if this was going to be advanced light, let's say, it would be considered light armor to perks, and its meltdown and temper recipes are also considered advanced, which is corundum. So ebony light is going to be considered, I'm guessing, since it's not low and it's light, that's a significant difference in how we worded these things. Since it's light, it'll be considered light armor, whereas ebony low would still be considered heavy, but it's a lower AC than like ebony and ebony high or something like that. So ebony light is going to be ebony. It's going to melt down and temper like ebony, and since it's ebony light, it's going to be treated as light armor as far as perks are concerned. And it's going to have ebony like armor rating. Then the substring, this is the name of the item, the armor. This is where things go really wrong. This is why I had to rename the bikini armors and create ESP replacers for each set of bikini armor, because the name, when the patcher sees the name, it does not discriminate. If something has evil in it, it might patch everything with evil in it to ebony light, or if it has mastermind in it. So you want to be as exact as you need to be with naming, or it could just patch everything with that name. So that's why all of the bikini armors, I think the originals were wolf bikini, like wolf bikini gauntlets, and in seeing that, I don't know if it did it because as soon as I saw it mess up with the first one, I just did it with all of them. I think it was the steel armors, the bikini steel or steel bikini. It was called steel bikini whatever, and it patched everything that was steel to the same armor rating as that entry. And because of how I had it set up, the bikini steel bikini was like a fraction of what the cuirass was. The steel bikini chest was a fraction of the vanilla steel cuirass. So the result was all steel armors had their armor rating cut to crap. So I had to go through and rename all of the steel bikini parts bikini steel instead of steel bikini. And I had to make an ESP to replace those items' names. That's why you have to have the ESP replacers for the bikini armors, because the patcher just kind of goes wild with names. I don't know why it's set up with that like that, and I have no knowledge on how to change it, but that's the way it is. So this is where you put your name of your armor. This is the material of the armor. This is the format in which it needs to be done. You want to put your entries before the materials, at the end of the armors, at the end of all of my entries, put them right there between the end of mine and the material listings. And make them look just like that. Just like this. You should be able to copy and paste. You don't want to copy and paste from some other medium, like the forums or even the PCaPP page. You want to copy and paste your entries from this XML itself. And it needs to be exact. If you put a space here, it might mess things up. It might not. Don't put a space there. I think that pretty much covers what I wanted to get out there. If you have any other questions, leave them on the PCaPP page. Have fun.